Hey everyone, this is Songs That Work coming back at you. Today is June the 4th. We hope you all are well. And this is your video recap of everything that's new this week in the music industry as it specifically pertains to us making money. Before we get into the new things that have been added to the program, we want to just go over this mind map with y'all. We want to talk to y'all like we talk to our clients. You have to really be focused about you only have a limited amount of time. So you want to really be focused about how you're setting up your music streams. And so we just want to touch on these real fast so that you are focusing on the right ones. So we focus on sync licensing a lot. That's not the biggest pillar for most of our clients. The biggest pillar is sound packs. And that also includes selling beats, selling a cappella vocals, selling found sounds, Foley, all that sort of stuff. That really is like the biggest pillar of our clients' earnings. And then would be like either sync licensing or subscription pay for content, whatever. But anyway, let's just go through them. We'll start with sync licensing. So there's two ways to do it. You're either direct pitching emails to the music supervisor over the specific project. You're not just pitching them in general. So we give you the opportunities that they're working on in the moment and their email addresses and email templates. If you don't know how to write a sales email, we give you that. And then you're direct pitching. That's one way. The second way is music platform. So a library platform or a publisher platform. The supervisors will go to these platforms and look for specific sounding music, a genre, some kind of period orchestra, whatever the case may be. So if you have stuff that, you don't really know what to do with it, that should go in these platforms. And you want to be covering both sides because that's how you have the best chance of your music getting picked up. And then you'll be getting random payouts from ASCAP. You're like, how did my song end up in some, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? That's how, because they found it in some sort of publisher platform. And there's lots of those, and we list all of those in the full version of Songs That Work. And it's also, some of them are in tier 1 as well. Subscription pay for content. So instead of going live for free on IG, that you can start there because you're, attracting fans. But once you have some, start moving them over to Patreon. There's no need for you to go live on IG and IG to make money off of you. Same with YouTube. Move them off to Patreon or move them off to, there's other platforms that we list in the full version of Songs That Work. If you're doing a concert in your bedroom, get paid for it. So all that stuff, that can be a lucrative stream, especially if you have people who really like what you do as an artist. Investment, you cannot earn your way to wealth. You have to invest your way to wealth. If you try to earn your way to wealth, you will kill yourself working. You want to take a portion of your earnings and put them into vehicles that are going to give you compounded interest. That's how wealth is built. And the come up really happens when, things are in the tank like they are now. So if you bought now, when there is another bull rally, you're going to see return on that investment. So we're not investment advisors. We just give you a list of all of the music related companies that are public that you can buy stocks in. Some of them are very cheap. We covered them last week. One is actually like $7 a share at the moment. So make sure you check that out and don't neglect that part of your finances. Sound packs, again, this also incorporates selling full beats, the whole nine. This is the biggest bucket that our clients are making money in because they're just consistent in making content. And because there is no end to content creators making content, they always need music. So this is really where the stream is happening. You can sell this stuff on your own platform, but, there are platforms that have so many eyeballs on them. So we really suggest partnering with those types of platforms, and we give a list of those in the full version of Songs That Work in the section called Other Ways to Make Money from Your Music. And then merch, NFT, vinyl, you have to have physical items to sell. You're a business. You're a business. You are a business. You got to have physical items. So merch, if it's cool, if you can partner with a good designer, we give you places where you can go find those. Just look in the merch section. This is also in the free version of Songs That Work. There's a full breakout on how to do merch. And that's something easy that you can start right now. And then networking. these people, like, I know a lot of y'all still want to do like label deals or, you know, a structured publishing deal, whatever the case may be. And there's no shame in that. The folks who run that, like the C-suite folks, the director level folks, VP level folks, and even like, you know, middle managers, they have to belong to these networking bodies, you know, that's part of their job. So it also has to be a part of your job if you want to be in the room to have these conversations. So we give you that list of networking, and you can find that in all 3 versions of Songs at Work. Get into it and start joining some of those organizations. All right, let's start talking about what's new in the actual program this week. We added a new music library platform into the full version only of Songs at Work, but it's a platform that just raised $7.5 million. Sony Music was one of their investors. T-Pain is on their advisory board. They are a platform where like IG creators and stuff can come and get music and use it and not worry about a copyright strike. And they are still actively seeking musicians who have catalog to do partnerships with. And so usually those payouts, I don't know how this particular platform is paying out, but usually the payouts are like 50-50 or 70-30. But the link for application to that place is in the full version of Songs at Work under music libraries and platforms. And then there's another section called Sync License. So you want to check that out. And if you have questions, you can email us. The next thing that we've added is BeatStars, which we talked about in the newsletter this week. They've paid out $200 million to creators, to music creators, and I think that's amazing. I know a lot of you are already selling on BeatStars. If you're not and you have catalog, definitely look into putting it up here. What's great about them is that, like, if you're leasing the beat, like, you're not selling it outright, meaning a lot of people are, you know, like singing and rapping over it and it's all over the internet. They have this Beat ID feature that is tracking your song. So wherever it's being used, you're collecting your royalties, and that's, you know, key. So we just want to highlight this again. We want to talk. This is interesting. This is Spotify for artists. Like, if I think almost all of you have, you know, music released on Spotify. So you're familiar with Spotify for artists. It sort of positions itself as a means to help you like navigate using their platform and just growing your career in general. So now they have this thing called In Focus that's supposed to help you, I don't know, grow your career. So some of the things that they're offering are useful, like this fan study thing. It's data, you know, so like in terms of like who's listening to you, where they're located, what is their age demographic, that sort of thing. Yes, that is key. It helps you do your marketing. So that's new, and that's nice. This other piece, they have a Shopify integration now. So it's say with the merch, which we talked about, like you have to have a physical thing to sell. If you have a whole Shopify store that sells merch, you can do an integration with them. So when people come listen to your music on Spotify, they can also link out to your merch store and buy merch. So that's cool. The rest of the stuff I don't know about. The Canvas thing where you can like upload some video to accompany your music. Yes, I think that's amazing. The other stuff like Marquee, where you pay them to like show your, you know, prominently show your song. I mean, they're already not paying you, and you're giving them the content. Like, you're bringing people to their platform to listen to their advertisers' commercials. So the fact that they should want you to pay them to highlight your song that's crazy town to me. I think that, I mean, I hate Spotify. And then the other thing that they're offering is the playlist pitching, which we cover that if you go into your Songs at Work, and this is in free tier 1 and full. If you go under playlist pitching, the Spotify information is there. I don't know anyone that's pitched to a Spotify playlist and gotten on it. I don't know anyone personally. I think your time is better spent pitching to non-Spotify playlists, honestly. And we list those in all, you know, 3 versions of Songs at Work under the playlisting. There's a section for playlisting. So I would do that before I would. If you're in Spotify for artists, yes, go ahead and do it. But I think you have to give good like lead time. So like 2 months before you're going to release like a big album, you would have to do that. So anyway, I just thought this was interesting because Spotify is always trying to distract from the fact that they don't pay artists. But anyway, let's get into what's new in Songs at Work this week. Godfather of Harlem is coming back. It'll be back like December this year. So they're finishing, they're filming now and going into post-production. What's interesting about The Godfather of Harlem is that it is a period piece, right? So it covers like late 50s into early 60s because, you know, Malcolm X is still alive during this time. And so the music is period, right? And there's 2 music supervisors for this particular show. And so what's interesting about it is that when Bumpy and his crew are about to like ride down on some folks, the music is hip hop, right? They use hip hop for those action sequences, or like hip hop with R&B vocals. And then when they go back into like, you know, normal day-to-day life of the characters, it's the period piece, like, you know, pop orchestrals and doo-wop groups, Motown type sounds. So you can submit both. You can submit your like late 50s, early 60s period pieces if you have that, or you can submit your hip hop that would lend itself to like action chases and murders. That information for both music supervisors is in the full version of Sounds at Work. The next show is Chicago PD. This is like going into its 10th season. You guys are all familiar with this show. It is a crime procedural. They rarely ever use like fun songs with vocals or anything contemporary. Like it's always thriller, emotional, drama, music beds, instrumentals. So if you have that kind of stuff, the music supervisor for this is only in the full version of Songs at Work. The next project is called Bros. It's a film about LGBTQ couple. It's a romantic comedy. So if you're pitching, you know, it would be romantic comedy type sounds. So like your awkward meet cute sounds, comedic quirky type sounds, like awkward moment type instrumentals. And then, poppy, sappy type pop romantic music. So the same stuff that you would pitch for like a regular romantic comedy, you would pitch for this. The music supervisor for this is in the full version of Songs at Work only. Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3. So this film is coming for 2023. And as you know, with the Guardians of the Galaxy films, they always have like some element of like super pop music. And then they have like their normal, like, you know, thriller, blockbuster, orchestral, sort of, you know, Star Wars type sounding orchestral music. So the music supervisor for this particular project is only in the full version of Songs at Work. And what's interesting too is that the music supervisor for this project is the same music supervisor for the Black Panther project. He's like the most sought after music supervisor in Hollywood. And he definitely is the highest grossing music supervisor in Hollywood. So his information is only in full. The next project is April 29th, 1992. This is a film about the day that Rodney King was pulled from his car and beaten by the LAPD. And it's about the riots that ensued afterwards. So, what was I going to say? It's period music, right? So it's 1992 hip hop. So this is like the height of Death Row, the height of Bad Boy. But I would pitch, you know, like your best California Death Row sounding hip hop. And then also like instrumentals that are, you know, thriller, drama, suspense, chase based. Okay. And this information is in the tier 1. So you can find it in tier 1 version, and you can find it in the full version of Songs at Work under music supervisors. And then the last thing is Snowfall. This is kind of sad because they're going into their last season. So their season for 2022 into 2023. They have a lot of budget for music for this particular show. They use the actual songs from the 80s. Like they've used Duran Duran, Notorious, New Shoes, I Can't Wait. They use a lot of 80s like boom bap hip hop, that early hip hop, Grandmaster Flash type sound and stuff, and then 80s synth pop. So if you have stuff for that, the music supervisor info is in the full version only of Songs at Work, and this is your last season to try to get music on Snowfall. That's it for this week. We hope y'all are well. Have a great weekend. If you need help, reach out to us at help@songsthatwork.info. Peace.